Go down the rabbit hole with Momix. On December 12th through 14th, Penn Live Arts presents this dance illusion company in Alice, a wildly imaginative take on Lewis Carroll's beloved Wonderland. A mix of awe-inspiring movement, vivid imagery, and imaginative costumes bring the Mad Hatter, Queen of Hearts, and more favorites to life. Get tickets for Momix's smash hit Alice at PennLiveArts.org. It's the Friday News Roundup. We're talking about a rift between city council and the mayor. Imagine driving down Lincoln Drive in a car without a driver. And come on now, don't egg the coach's house. It's Friday, December 5th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. Joining me this week at the Filler Club is CityCast Philly executive producer Matt Katz. Hey, Matt.
What's up, Trenae?
Hey. So next week, we're going to be talking about our CityCast Philly Neighbors program. This is the membership program that some of you already know about, but it's the best way to support CityCast Philly and such an easy way to get great benefits, too.
Yeah, this is the beginning of our, December push to bring in more neighbors to the family here.
Yeah.
And ton of benefits, like you said, members-only events. We have an amazing event coming up in January.
I can't wait.
Can't talk about it just yet, but it's pretty amazing. There's an exclusive weekly events preview that our newsletter editor, Siani Colognes, puts in your inbox at the beginning of every week so you know what's going on for the following 7 days. You can do neighborhood shout-outs where you shout out your favorite business in the community where you live. You get ad-free listening to the podcast.
And I will shout you out on Friday News Roundup.
Yep, that's right. You know, our most listened to shows every week are these Friday News Roundups that we do. And I think that indicates that people do really rely on us to sort of sift through the news and all the noise from the week and give them a tidy 30 minutes or so of the most important or most bizarre or funniest stuff that's happened in Philly over the past 7 days. And if people keep tuning into these Friday News Roundups, I think that means that they see them and they see us as valuable. So our hope is that you folks out there listening on your phones, in your cars, maybe on your smart speakers, whatever, we hope that you see what we do here as valuable. And we hope, therefore, that you support us so we can keep making these shows Monday through Friday and also these news roundups every week. We are declaring 2026 the year of local. We want to focus on our communities, on our city, the city that we love, and we need more Philly neighbors in 2026 to keep that going. A great way to level up your relationship with this city and help you build deeper connections with Philly is through the CityCast Philly Neighbors program. Trenae, there's people who just moved here who have become our neighbors recently.
Welcome to Philly, y'all.
And then there's people who were born here and have never left who have become our CityCast Philly neighbors. So we get the whole spectrum. We think that people, regardless of how long they've been a Philadelphian, can appreciate what we do here and how we're just trying to connect people more deeply to their community. So we hope that you can support local media and become a CityCast Philly neighbor.
So when we did the call out back in August, our CityCast Philly neighbors got totes. You, if you become a member today, can get a beanie. I saw it and I want one. It will keep you warm when you're cheering on the Eagles or when you're watching the Mummers Parade on New Year's Day or when you're hitting the ice and skating at Rothman's ice skate rink or even the one down by the river, Independence Blue Cross River rink. So you'll hear more about this beanie next week. But if you join now, you can skip some of those extra emails and get early access to that CityCast Philly beanie. We are the city of firsts, a lot of firsts. So you are getting the first exclusive to this great gift and so much more with your support of just $10 a month or $100 a year. Head over to membership.citycast.fm/Philly. All right, let's get into the news of the week. We're going to start in City Hall and the latest conversations about Mayor Sherrell Parker's home initiative.
Yeah.
This is her grand plan of rehabbing, preserving, building up 30,000 units of residential housing in the city.
Yep.
However, there is a lot of beef between how this is going to be funded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some drama between city council and the mayor. And, these two entities, the mayor and city council, have had a pretty cozy relationship during the first almost 2 years of Mayor Sherelle Parker's term. And we are now seeing a little bit of drama. This is the mayor's biggest initiative. This was her major campaign promise. This is her whole thing. And there was supposed to be this big vote this week where city council was going to start approving a budget for this. So the city can issue $800 million in bonds to pay for a range of housing construction programs, basically. Mm-hmm. So there's like more than 24 of these. Some of them already exist. Some of them are new programs. Everything from like helping people with repairs to their homes, helping first-time home buyers buy a home, that kind of thing. So the mayor was hoping that the city council would basically approve the budget she sent them, but instead, city council proposed and passed an amendment, and now that ended up delaying the vote on the mayor's spending plan for this home initiative. And the amendment that the city council passed basically moves money around. It changes the housing programs of the city, it changes how much the cities would be spending on these housing programs. Specifically, the city council wants to spend more on homelessness prevention, so that money would increase in this budget. And another key change that the council made was they have this program that subsidizes home improvements for people who can't afford to, change the water heater or something, or put a new roof on the place. The mayor wants this money to be available to any homeowner making about $120,000 for a family of 4.
Excuse me?
That's technically the median income for the city.
Oh, is it?
Or
okay.
For the Philadelphia area, yes.
Interesting.
So the council's like, that's too much money. They want to lower the income eligibility, limiting the program to people who are making just about a little bit more than half of that. They want to gear it more toward poor people than maybe middle class, lower middle class folks in the city.
Okay, so it's very technical stuff that they're debating about.
Sure.
But the issue is, though, Matt, it's these public statements that are being issued and posted on Twitter X that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so the mayor was not happy about the amendment. She said in a statement in the Inquirer, the resolution that City Council passed out of the Committee of the Whole today contained language that our bond lawyers have repeatedly advised would prevent the administration from being able to issue the bonds. That means homes are not being restored. It means homes are not being built or repaired.
She's basically saying you're blowing up the whole thing by making these amendments.
Yep. Yeah. And then Council President Kenyatta Johnson had this to say.
And they're tight. They have been tight.
Yes.
Up to this point.
Yes. I mean, we could assume maybe they still are close. It's just about this initiative.
Sure.
Right?
But we've never really seen them go back and forth in the press or on social media like this before on anything significant.
Okay, so this is what Council President says. He says, Council's responsibility is not to rubber stamp legislation, but to ensure that any multi-billion-dollar public investment is legally sound and targeted to the Philadelphians who need it most. He continues to say, but Council also refuses to rush into issuing $800 million in debt without ironclad legal protections and clear guarantees that the lowest income Philadelphians will benefit from the first round of the home spending.
And that's really what it's about. It's about those low-income Philadelphians. And he's like, Mayor, you're not taking care of these low-income people. You're just taking care of these middle-income folks.
Hasn't that been sort of a criticism this year alone?
Yeah.
When we went through the whole District 33 strike, it was that conversation of the haves versus the have-nots versus the have-littles.
Right, exactly right. And I think there's like a philosophical difference. The mayor sees the middle class as sort of the stabilizing force in the city. And you stabilize the middle class, you help people stay in the homes that they maybe have owned for generations by giving them the money they need to fix up their roof. And then that like sort of trickles out from there. City council, and particularly some of the more progressive members of city council, are saying you have this massive housing program. That's got to help the poor people first. You help the lowest income people in the city with housing, especially given that the Trump administration is threatening to cut all kinds of aid for homeless services and whatnot. And so you help the poor people first. And that's what city council is saying. But I do think you're right. I think that it's a larger philosophical difference that the mayor has. I mean, she comes from a middle class neighborhood. She ran on this idea of these communities in the city, these middle communities. They're kind of getting lost. They don't, not eligible for public assistance and subsidies, don't have enough money though to, add a roof deck to their house and whatnot. And she has said that these are the communities that have gotten lost in the mix for too long, and that's why she wants to infuse much of this money into those neighborhoods and those communities and those families.
Also, before we went on break before the Thanksgiving holiday, there was another plan that Mayor Parker had.
Yeah.
And that was the 20-year property tax abatement to convert old buildings, old office buildings, old schools into housing. Mm-hmm. That is going to have to also be discussed, amongst city council members as well. But yeah, I would say in some aspects, I'm glad that housing is in the forefront.
Sure.
Of this administration and amongst city council members. But the spatting is what I'm not a fan of.
Mm-hmm. You mean the back and forth?
The back and forth, our legal team said this, and no, our legal team said that. Yeah. And it's like, nah, I need y'all to figure it out, come together, because the more that you argue about it, the less time people have in getting homes.
You're not here for the drama?
No.
Oh, man, why not?
Because,
I was reading this, and I'm like, oh, Kenyatta said this. Oh, the mayor said that back. I was like, I was eating my popcorn. Because you think it's like not.
It's just not
want
productive.
It to get done. You want something to get done.
I hate a political chatter. Just be quiet and get things done.
I do like when they fight in front of us instead of behind closed doors, because then I know what's going on.
True. You like transparency.
Yeah, I like transparency with your mess. Put it out there.
Well, Matt, a vote could happen next Thursday on the new council plan.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll keep an eye on that. We've got more news after the break. Looking for that perfect winter outing that feels straight out of a holiday movie? Then bundle up and head over to Independence Blue Cross River Rink Winterfest, Philly's favorite winter tradition on the Delaware River waterfront. Imagine skating under twinkling lights with the Ben Franklin Bridge as your backdrop, sipping hot chocolate by the fire and cozying up in your own private cabin with family and friends. Whether it's date night, family day, or a group outing, Winterfest has everything you need to make magical memories this season. Tickets and rentals go fast, so don't wait. Reserve your skating tickets, fire pits, and cozy cabins now at riverrink.com. Don't miss Independence Blue Cross River Rink Winterfest. Open now through March 1st. Your favorite holiday tradition is waiting.
Trenae, do you like to eat outside?
If it's in a protected structure.
Oh.
A good distance away from dogs, cars, trucks rolling by.
Right.
I don't want that in my pasta.
The dog just jumping up on the table while it's walking by. Yeah, that's disgusting.
Or it's sniffing around.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't get me started about dogs.
I know. I like the dogs.
I know. but at a
not
certain
the dog people.
yeah, a certain time and place. That is a good point about eating outside. So, interestingly enough, the dog issue did not come up this week, but the larger issue of these places to eat outside came up in City Council. Council member Rue Landau has a bill, got a hearing this week. It would expand the number of streets in the city where sidewalk dining is allowed automatically without city council voting on a permit, which apparently can take like a year and a half. So if you're
to put out a chair and a table and a lamp to keep you warm?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? On like certain streets in the city, if it's not already like permitted by law.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You have to go through this crazy process that can take a year and a half. So she's trying to fix that to make more streets in the city just like automatic. Yes, you can put out a table and a few chairs. One of those streets is Washington Avenue, which has a pretty big sidewalk that's definitely like not used. There's just not on most stretches of Washington Avenue enough businesses there to have like a lot of foot traffic. So that to me makes sense, although I'm not sure if really anybody would want to necessarily eat outside on Washington Avenue. It's not the prettiest. But yeah, so that's an example. Billy Penn reported this week that there are 289 active licenses for sidewalk eating. That's in addition to those streets which are just allowed to have them by right. And she's trying to expand that. But not everybody is on board on council. At least one council member wants her district like cut out of that. And the reason is she's worried about nuisance businesses.
Oh,
and I bet
ding, ding. Yeah. I know that trivia question.
Yeah, there you go.
Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Councilmember Cindy Bass.
8th District.
That's right. Right. So she's not letting her council district be part of this new proposed law, which would allow, sidewalk eating on various streets. And she's concerned, as she told us when you interviewed her several months ago, about nuisance businesses. That's like her main issue in the city. And it's a bigger issue.
Big issue.
In her district. It's a particularly big issue. Yeah. So she was like concerned about stop and go liquor stores, these like places where you can go in and do a shot. Have you done a shot in a stop and go liquor store, Trenae?
Anyway, so she does not want them in the 8th District. Goodness gracious, man. My pastor's probably listening to this. I'm a changed woman. I'm saved.
I think your non-answer is all the answer Philadelphia needs. She hates these stop and goes, and she said at this council hearing that they'll be able to move their foolishness from inside the stop and go out on the sidewalk. And so until we can get better controls and better handles and make sure that the community has very much a say in terms of what's going into their neighborhood, the 8th District would be excluded from the bill.
Interesting. But I wonder, though, because not all businesses are nuisance businesses, and that language could impact, someone who opens a cute little bistro in the 8th District and they can't have outdoor sidewalk eating.
And maybe they could only afford to rent a smallish place, and they need that sidewalk eating just to kind of make ends meet, to just get more tables in the place, for sure.
Sure.
And then there's the other issue that's sort of related to this, which is like streeteries.
Right. Those are those like protected structures that we saw coming out during the pandemic.
Yep.
They can take up parking spots.
Yeah, that's why people don't like those. I remember the first time I ate in one, it was like definitely mid-COVID. I was at Positano Coast. You know that place? It's like 2nd and Walnut, Old City.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's beautiful inside.
It
right?
is beautiful inside. Yeah. But Walnut Shore, there's a little bit busy.
It's cobblestones.
There's cobblestones
and
like
it's
next
near
to that lot, the movie theater.
Movie theater.
Exactly
Yeah.
I remember just like eating in there. And it was when we still had like masks, even eating outside, except when you pull down the mask to eat.
Yeah.
I was thrilled to be outside, hanging out with friends, but my head was on a swivel the whole time because holy shit, is there a car gonna? I'm in the traffic.
Yeah.
But we've now gotten more accustomed to that, and there's streeteries all over the city, but not as many as during COVID because a lot of them were kind of regulated out.
Mm-hmm. So one of the first streeteries that I remember eating at was actually outside of Local Pez in West Philly on Baltimore Avenue. Now, the streetery was actually on 47th Street. So it was it's slower. It wasn't like on Baltimore Avenue where the trolleys are rolling by or like the bikers and like all that kind of stuff. Streeteries, like again, like I said, take up parking spots, could disrupt bike lanes. So that's an interesting kind of concept to see what happens there.
Our streets, we always talk about this, Trenae, our streets are like constantly changing. And in addition to these sidewalk cafes, streeteries, whatnot, we also got Waymo. Some news on Waymo this week.
I saw it on Henry Avenue and the kids were like, Mom, look, it's the Waymo.
There was somebody in there though, right?
Actually, I don't know.
There's supposed to be somebody
is there?
in there still.
Okay.
But they have made a change because this Waymo came a few months ago and they were driving with a human driver behind the wheel so the car computer thing could like figure out the roads of Philadelphia and learn the roads of Philadelphia. Now they have a trainer in there, but the car is driving itself, apparently. And then next, we're going to totally driverless Waymo situation. They announced this week that they are asking PennDOT for approval to pick you up and take you to dinner in a car without a person in it.
I am usually hesitant to new technology.
Yeah.
I remember I was pregnant with Yahara. This was like 11 years ago, and I was visiting friends in San Francisco. And I was like, okay, well, my dilemma is like, what do I do after I leave the restaurant that we're going to be at and get to the airport? And she says, just take a Lyft. And I was like, a what? What's a Lyft? You get into a stranger's car?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
wow, look how that's changed,
Unbelievable.
right?
Now you do it
I
all
do it
the
all the
time.
time, and I'm letting my kid do it.
Wow. Do you have the special
We have
like
the special
kid one?
team
On Uber or Lyft?
On Uber.
How's that going?
I did it one time because I just could not get him to football practice. I guess I'm a little concerned about that. I'm not going to do that a
we
lot.
adapt to this technology so
we do,
quickly.
But
like you just said.
Well, this was like the earlier weeks of the Eagles season, and I had a Uber driver. He had like 15 screens in the car.
Oh boy.
He had the game so he could watch. He had a screen that would tell him the way to get us to our destination.
Mm-hmm.
He then had screens in behind the driver's seat and the passenger seat.
Oh my God.
It was so much going on.
Would you rather get in a Waymo or with an Uber driver who's watching the Eagles game?
Is the Waymo going to have the Eagles game on for me?
Oh, wow. Or the Waymo just like does the play-by-play while it's driving you?
It tells me, Trenae, Jalen Hurts just threw a touchdown to Devontae Smith. Thank God.
Waymo says that they are safer than real-life human drivers. You don't buy it.
Not yet. I'm a slow walk this one.
So I got this press release this week from the state police, and it really made clear to me like how dangerous our roads can be. And if there's like an alternative that's saying it's safer for people, then I'm sort of game to try it. So
how dangerous are the roads?
So this was just Thanksgiving weekend, November 26th to the 30th, state roads in Pennsylvania. There were 1,183 vehicle crashes, resulting in 6 deaths. Impaired driving was a factor in 61 crashes, which is just unbelievable how many people are not driving sober. Over the 5-day holiday weekend, 458 individuals were arrested for driving under the influence. 7,472 people were cited for speeding. Our roads can be deadly. And if there's technology that can make them a little bit less deadly, then I'm game.
Yeah. So on Sunday, a 65-year-old man died after crashing his car. He actually hit a guardrail, flipping the car. And this happened on Lincoln Drive in Chestnut Hill, like near the Gresham Valley Drive. Matt, I was actually leaving my sister's house, and I was a few cars
Oh my
from this
God,
accident.
really?
I actually told the kids to close their eyes as we drove by. There was a police car on the scene, and like the other emergency vehicles were like on their way. And everyone in Philly knows, like, the lanes on Lincoln Drive are narrow at certain parts, especially in this like Gresham Valley Drive area. The roads are narrow. They're also like windy, and we had some like wet weather, so the roads were kind of damp. So I read in the Inquirer that like the Mount Airy neighbors in this section of the city, they've been complaining about the safety of this particular section of Lincoln Drive for years. And the guardrail at the site of this crash was already mangled from previous crashes. And also, it was reported that since 2019, at least 5 people had died while driving on this section of Lincoln Drive. So neighbors are, again, still petitioning for support from the city to create like more safety measures.
Yeah, sure.
There are some like speed bumps in certain spots of this road, but in my opinion, some of the speed bumps are like worn down. And there's also like ways that cars still try to like go around the
Which is
speed
even
bumps,
more
which is stupid.
dangerous.
I just like
Totally.
just slow down. Some neighbors in this article have asked for like giant boulders to be put in place
Wow.
as a method to maybe slow drivers down. Even if the speed limit is like 25, like people are still flying down parts of Lincoln Drive. And it is dangerous.
In related sad news this week, a Philadelphia Highway Patrol officer who was on a motorcycle on his way to work back 6 years ago, he was hit by an elderly driver who unintentionally struck him on the 3300 block of Ron Street. The officer had a brain injury from this crash 6 years ago and died this week. His name was Andy Chan. He had been on the force for 24 years. He was 48 years old. He had been in a coma for many weeks after this crash. The Fraternal Order of Police said this week that he died a hero and will always remember and honor his sacrifice. Andy Chan had grown up in Chinatown and always dreamed of being a highway patrolman. So he got his dream fulfilled, but it ended in a tragic way. And that was just another reminder this week. There were so many reminders this weekend for you too. Obviously, you saw that situation about our roads and the need to try to make them safer.
All right, we'll be back after this break. Weekend plans. What you doing?
Well, there's no Eagles football this weekend. They play on Monday night. So I'm going to be watching the new Hard Knocks documentary.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like on HBO or Max. What do we call it now?
HBO Max, yeah.
HBO, we call it both now? HBO Max.
I think so.
Well, it was HBO, and then they went to Max, and now it's HBO Max. Okay,
yeah.
HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
So they do, Hard Knocks is like a long-running series where they basically mic up football players and they like get into their meetings and all this stuff. So they're doing a special series on the NFC East. So it's all the teams in that division. So there's a lot of mic'd up moments from the Eagles from this season.
Well, now that I know what you said earlier, you like the drama. You want to know the gossip.
Exactly. Right.
So,
right.
Yes.
Does AJ like Saquon? Is Saquon talking smack about AJ? I want to know all that stuff.
Well, no, I'm interested in the AJ Jalen Hurts relationship.
Right. Why was Jalen giving AJ the cold shoulder on the football field for the first several games this season and not throwing him the ball? Maybe we'll find out in this documentary.
Maybe.
So I'm going to watch out this weekend to scratch my football itch. Been a couple of rocky weeks in Eagles land, right? Lost to the Cowboys.
That's an understatement, Matt. That's an understatement.
Lost to the
Took
Bears.
the life out of us.
And then some disgruntled Eagles fans went to our offensive coordinator's house. Kevin Patullo lives in New Jersey.
Play. That's a dirty play.
They egged his house.
Dirty play.
First, it's so embarrassing for our city, for Eagles fans. But apparently it's a tradition because 32 years ago, this was posted on X. 32 years ago, Philly teenagers egged Philadelphia Phillies' Mitch Williams' house after he gave up a series-clinching home run to Joe Carter in the World Series. So this is apparently how uncool Philadelphia sports fans handle their losses. And I don't like it. Second of all, we're still gonna make the playoffs. We're still the Super Bowl champs. All's well. Don't get crazy.
Yes, right. But you cannot tell us that. Like the amount of heart palpitations that I experienced, or like I went down to Chicky and Pete's over in Drexel Hill.
Yeah.
And just like the pomp and circumstance of it all, and the table of the older women who were cheering with me, we were dancing. We were up 21-0.
I know.
And then to look across the table at my poor little child getting like so sad. She's wearing her new Eagles hat that I got on sale and her matching jacket, and just for her to see the devastation.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Philadelphia, little one. That's the way it goes.
Oh boy. But yeah, dirty play. Don't be egging nobody's house.
You want to call Kevin Patullo, our offensive coordinator, Kevin Pooptulo? Go ahead. Which is what people are calling him. But that's okay. I feel like that's in bounds. But don't go to his house.
Yeah,
don't
show up to where his kids lay.
No,
that's now you are unleashing other things.
Yeah.
And now,
It's not the kid's fault that their dad is not good at managing an offense.
You're taking it there. I'm not taking it that far, but street code, whatever. Don't show up to my house. Not to my grandmother's house, my mother's house, or where my kids lay.
Agreed. Amen. Hopefully the Eagles have a better night on Monday night for our next game. What are you up to this weekend?
Well, the city's going to be lit. Literally, the city is lit. I recently went to the Holiday Light Tour through City Sightseeing, which is the trolley company where you can make 3 stops. You go to Franklin Square, Smedley Street, and the Miracle on South 13th Street. You're looking at all of the holiday lights, drinking
great.
the hot chocolate, all sorts of stuff. We did karaoke. We played trivia. This is the trivia question that I won. What didn't Charlie Brown like about Christmas?
Oh, I don't know.
It was too commercial.
Wow, really?
So it literally just came to me, and I was like, it was too commercial out in the aisle. And they're like, yes, you won. I was like, yes. I made friends. We were doing karaoke. You know the 12 Days of Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, my row got the 6th day of Christmas. My true love gave to me 6 geese blazing, right? So it was a competition.
Yeah.
And my row, we just belted, screamed, 6 geese are flying. And it just made everyone cackle, and we just had such a good time. Anyway, we also had sugar cookies and cupcakes, and you got little prizes along the trip. So it was such a great experience.
Wonderful. Very cool.
A different experience is singing Dreams and Nightmares down at the X tonight. Meek Mill's in town.
I know. Are you going?
No, I'm not going.
I was looking at tickets. They're actually not so bad right now. I'm looking at StubHub, and they've got $100 seats available.
Oh yeah, that's
which
not
is
that's
actually,
not bad.
considering how crazy things are right now, $103 including fees on StubHub. You could still get tickets to see Philadelphia's own Meek Mill.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, there is a new Filipino steakhouse opening tonight in Fairmount. It's called Manag. Prices are pretty reasonable, $31 to $50 price range. This comes from Chef Chase over at Tabachoy in Bella Vista.
Awesome.
Also, before we go, we've got a CityCast Philly neighbor shout out. Welcome, neighbor Megan L.
Hey, Megan.
Hey, Megan. Megan recommends Acro and, which is a Philly-based fitness community that offers classes in partner acrobatics and handstands. It's inclusive, accessible, and provides individualized instruction within a welcoming and encouraging atmosphere. So you can sign up for a beginner class to join the fun.
Very cool.
You can join us and become a CityCast Philly neighbor and shout out your favorite business. Head over to membership.citycast.fm/Philly. All right, Matt. Have a great weekend.
You too, Trenae. See ya.
That's all for us today here on CityCast Philly. Our executive producer is Matt Katz. Our producer is Abby Fritz. Our Hey Philly newsletter editors are Siani Colon and Adrian Gonzalez. And our host is me, Trenae Nuri. Music is by Philly's own Interminable, with additional music from All the Kimonos. If you enjoyed the week of episodes, you gotta share a link to your friends. Also, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter, Hey Philly. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Have a great weekend, y'all, and be safe. Bye. I lost it. 6 maids of milking, 6.
I don't know. I'm more of
you're
8th day of Hanukkah type of guy.